Good morning, everybody. Uh, Welcome to another episode of Jittery J Reacts. I'm a little bit more awake now, but as I said in my last video, I'm in the mood to laugh this morning, so in that spirit, I've decided to react to some more George Carlin. And this morning we have George Carlin on our similarities. I In the description, I do believe it's the track is listed as Little Things We Share. Um, but yeah, same difference, really. Um, but without further ado, here we go.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, tell you what. Now, to balance the scale, I'd like to talk about some things that bring us together. Things that point out our similarities instead of our differences. Because that's all you ever hear about in this country is our differences. That's all the media and the politicians are ever talking about, the things that separate us, things that make us different from one another.
That's because that's what gives them their power. It's the things that separate us. Divide and conquer. That's always been the game plan. It always will be. With any politician, people say, oh, they're power hungry. Well, yeah. Why do you think they got to, how do you think they got to where they are? It's by being power hungry, being aggressive. It's part of the requirement, really. If you don't have that drive, you're not going to make it very far. But yeah, that's all you hear about is what separates us. You never hear about the stuff that brings us together anymore, especially not on TV.
Media and the politicians are ever talking about the things that separate us, things that make us different from one another. That's the way the ruling class operates in any society. They try to divide the rest of the people. They keep the lower and the middle classes fighting with each other so that they, the rich, can run off with all the fucking money.
Exactly. Divide and
Fairly
conquer.
simple thing happens to work. You know, anything
Art of
different,
war.
that's what they're going to talk
Divide and
about.
conquer.
Race, religion, ethnic and national background, jobs, income, education, social status, sexuality, anything you can do, keep us fighting with each other so that they can keep going to the bank. You know how I describe the economic and social classes in this country? The upper class keeps all of the money, pays none of the taxes. The middle class pays all of the taxes, does all of the work. The poor are there just to scare the shit out of the middle class.
He's got a point. He's got a point. Make them show up to work because they don't want to be that low. Yeah, it's a very valid point right there.
So stirring up the shit is something I like to do from time to time, but I also like to know that I can come back to these little things we have in common, little universal moments that we share separately, the things that make us the same. They're so small we hardly ever talk about them. Did you ever look at your watch and then you don't know what time it is? And you have to look again, and you still don't know the time. So you look a third time, and somebody says, what time is it? You say, I don't know. Did you ever notice how sometimes all day Wednesday, you keep thinking it's Thursday? And it happens over and over all day long. And then the next day, you're all right again. Did you ever find yourself standing in one of the rooms in your house and you can't remember why you went in there?
Every time I go into a room, I can't remember why I went in there. It's part of my memory issues. I can forget what I'm doing while I'm doing it. I've caught myself rambling on here before. I had to cut it way out. But yeah, it's just crazy. Some things you don't realize you're doing them until you catch yourself and you wonder how long you've been doing it. It's just nuts.
And 2 words float across your mind: Alzheimer's disease.
More like dementia.
You ever been talking to yourself and somebody comes in the room and you have to make believe you were singing?
I don't make believe anymore. I just keep on
the other
talking.
person really believes there's a song called "What Does She Think I Am?" Some kind of putz. Little experiences we've all had. You ever been sitting in a railroad train in a station and there's another train sitting right next to you and one of them starts to move and you can't tell which one it is?
You're in a car like that.
How about when you're out on a small boat on a windy day? You ever been out rocking back and forth for 3 or 4 hours trying to keep your balance? Rough seas, little boat. Then you get back into the shore and you're standing on the dock and you could swear there was something inside of you that was still out there rocking. Did you ever try to pick up a suitcase you thought was full, but it wasn't? And you go, and for just a split second you feel really strong. How about when you're looking through a chain link fence? Do you ever notice if you're just the right distance from a chain link fence, sometimes it seems to go, what is that? How do they do that? Do you ever try to tell somebody they have a little bit of dirt on their face? You can never get them to rub the right spot, can you? Say, you got a little bit of dirt right here. They always go, where, here? And you just want to slap the bastard.
It's in there. Stop it. It's like, oh, pay attention.
Do you ever notice how awful your face looks in a mirror in a restroom that has fluorescent lights? Every cut, scrape, scratch, scar, scab, bruise, boil, bump, pimple, zit, wart, welt, and abscess you've had since birth all seem to come back at the same time. And all you can think of is, I gotta get the fuck out of here!
Yeah, that's why I keep that fluorescent light off up there. That's it. Yeah. Same with this ring light. I think I got enough light with these other two. It shows up pretty good. Of course, this is my iPhone, so once I switch to a webcam, I may need more lighting. We'll see.
Do you ever notice sometimes when you're walking with your arm around your date, one of you has to change the way you're walking?
Yeah.
Men and women don't
Every
walk
time.
the same. One of them has to change. Either the man has to walk like this, or the woman has to walk like this. Joey, how are you? How about when you're going up a flight of stairs and you think there's one more step?
I do that all the time.
And then you have to kind of keep doing that, you know?
I'll go ahead and jam my knee.
You do all the time.
Used to jam my knee doing that, especially going bottom of the stairs is worse.
It's the third stage of
Yeah, that bottom stair is worse. I've done that so many times where you try to step down again and you just jar everything all the way up through your hip. And it is the worst. Because I do that with my bad leg and even the brace doesn't help. That is painful, to say the least.
And then you have to kind of keep doing that, you know? So people will think it's something you do all the time. I do this all the time. It's the third stage of syphilis. Same thing happens when you're going down the stairs. You could swear there was one more step. Holy shit.
That's what I was talking about. That's what I was just talking about. Done that so many times.
When you drink grapefruit juice in the morning, do you go like this?
Nope. Don't drink it.
I do too. Why do we drink it? It's like ice cream throat. You know when you've been eating ice cream too fast and you get that frozen spot in the back of your throat, but you can't do anything about it because you can't reach it to rub it? You just have to kind of wait for it to go away. And it does. Then what do? Eat more ice cream. What are we, fucking stupid?
Oh boy.
Did you ever fall asleep on a late afternoon, wake up after dark, and you don't know what goddamn day it is?
Yeah. Or in the winter. Or like in the winter when you fall asleep and you wake up about 6 o'clock and it's dark out and you can't tell if it's AM or PM. I've been there. I was like, shoot, did I sleep all night? Or did I not sleep at all? Yeah, it's very disconcerting. I mean, but that's something that it'll really confuse the crap out of you for a little bit.
Like when you have your head on the pillow. Do you ever notice when you have your head on the pillow, if you close the bottom eye, the pillow is down there. If you switch eyes, the pillow moves up there. Whoa, shit, babe, look at this. The mystery of the moving pillow. I think it's related to the chain link fence mystery myself. Do you ever have to sneeze while you're taking a piss? It's frightening, isn't it? It's frightening because actually you can't do it. It's physically impossible to sneeze while pissing. Your brain won't let it happen. Your brain says, stop pissing! We're going to sneeze now! Because your brain knows you might blow your asshole out.
Oh man.
You know, my wife's like, what'd you do? After, 6 months of doing this, she's seeing all the changes that are happening. And she's
There we go again. And that was the end of that one. There's like more there to explore later. Anyway, that was, yeah. A lot of it, especially at the beginning, a lot of it makes you really stop and think. But then he starts getting into the comedy again. So that what he said before will actually sink in more, because as long as you keep that laughter going, like I've said before, you keep that emotion up, what you're saying is gonna sink in more. It's gonna be remembered more because it was funny, or because it was sad. Anything that can make emotion will cause retention for the most part. But that's gonna do it for this video. We'll see you on the next one, which I'm going to start recording here in a few minutes as soon as I figure out which one I want to do. I'll see you later. See you on the flip side.